happens when you give it a taste life, then you give it a wasteland. This what happens when you give it a fake life, and then the ape in. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see it's in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see it's in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Tigers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Tigers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. To throw from his end zone. Patterson. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw from his end zone. Patterson. He's going to go for a big... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick-6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Ready. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for them there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Going for the deep ball. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is...
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now let's go. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Back to throw. Patterson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Patterson. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. But it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Throw left side complete. It's Wilkins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line.
This is caught at the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To throw on 2nd down. Patterson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Steps away to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Looking to throw. Patterson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
On 3rd down, that's Miles. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some time.
See what happens. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to run there.
Jameis now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Jameis to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Working out of the gun, Winston. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gano's kick is right through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to throw. Patterson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll try and throw for it here. He can run for it, and he will. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. On 1st down, Patterson. Escaping the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And on the ground they go with a running back. And And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Eagles on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Looking to throw. Patterson lets this one rip toward Graham. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off.
Pass interference, offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Unable to corral him, he fights through. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Running the option left here. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go!
From From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Able to get there and pick it. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Green 39! Green 39!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Patterson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Able to spin free. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Patterson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
All right, here we go.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense?
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll go on the ground. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Patterson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is going to lose yardage here. And there will be a break in the action here. They're going to take a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
On fourth down, Patterson. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down. And the spike will come with 34 seconds to go. The offense on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw, and that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Philadelphia, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. Look at them. How to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance.